Yeah. Real quick, comment a little bit about crypto and Bitcoin as we're, again, the big story that you're communicating, and which I agree with, is this recent dollar weakness that is, and it's accelerating, it seems like. How is that affecting the cryptocurrency market, specifically Bitcoin and Ethereum?
Yes, well, there's more to the currency markets than just Bitcoin and Ethereum. And in actual fact, the most recent info that we put a lot of people into was actually on XRP. So I will show you that. It's a status token, so people will go, boo. It's definitely going to play some role, I suspect, in the central bank digital tokens in terms of the rails. So this is your big, your anti-freedom money that our central planners have for us. So it's a pragmatist trade. Make the money, buy yourself some freedom, because it's coming whether you like it or not. It's what I call a hold your nose trade. It's a bit like buying the military industrial complex. You don't feel good about it. There'll be some people that'll take moral positions on that. I tend to say you don't control what goes up or down.
We're trading charts.
If you can build wealth and use it in the right way, you have to be in the matrix to pull down the matrix. So if something's going to go up, I'd rather be in it and benefiting from that. But I recognize there'll be some people that will make moral arguments. So this is Bitcoin, and in the similar way, it's quite a busy chart. So I'll just switch off all the lights there so I don't scare everybody. Bitcoin has been stuck in a range on the dollar between the 29.9/30 level to the 31 level. So you've been in a stall box there. You're on the low end of that now. But that's actually, it's what I've called a slow motion hidden correction, because of course the dollar's been going down. And this is why we do, again, that currency analysis. That's Bitcoin euro. You can see it's been correcting from that. That's Bitcoin pound. Similar thing. You can even go Bitcoin yen. Wow. You've actually got a falling wedge type structure. It's been in a pullback that's hardly been noticed. So this is Bitcoin yen, and how I'd carve that chart up is I'd say, there you go, falling wedge. There's going to be a surge coming soon to the upside. So with the dollar continuing to lose value and getting disorderly, that's going to lead to such a push in the tailwind that even those things that have been correcting, of which gold was one, but has now shown that it's turned, Bitcoin was actually the other. Most of these things were showing us that they actually were quite okay with hibernating for the summer and coming alive with the autumn and the fall, as you call it, up stateside. But what's ended up happening is all the bears have been woken up and said, come out from under your snow. It's already spring and summer. You should be out and about and charging. So all animals are being, brought out. And this is dollar driven. So we're going to have a long bull market surge, I think, to come out of this. It's already corrected. It had its push up. This was the trade that many of your viewers would have loved to have been in. We had a whole bunch of our community very strongly in, and that was XRP. Again, the key low risk, high reward trade, which was right here. Whoops, that's a little bit of a small line. Let me just correct for that.
Look at that. Wow.
So we were trading this fella and we got the luck. I didn't even realize actually that there was a decision pending. This court case with Ripple has been going on and on and on and trying to keep up with who's doing what. So I always find that the narrative suddenly catches up and you find out why later. We've got such a beautiful break. We looked at all these hammers there, and this is all part of a far bigger move we expect to see. And this is what I call the fractal within fractal. So that was a huge move. Guys made 6 and 7 digits there. We got some new minted 7-digit liquid guys that were really as happy as clams that we were all over this. We've been talking about it on our Crypto Sniper, channel for quite some time. So we separate, crypto is the divisive topic for some people, especially the older guys with traditional markets. They don't want to hear about these things sometimes, but I can tell you it's coming. And this right here is a target of $17, $16.77. And we entered on that and we're now long. We've also got investment in that, but that is a 683 risk reward trade. That is the value of trading one small fractal to break into a far bigger move. The far bigger move is this one that I was highlighting here. Whoops, let's get that line drawn again. There we go. There she comes.
Yep.
That whole bigger squeeze. So that's given us a massive move. If that continues without running that stop, if it doesn't come back down and run that stop, it continues in that direction and eventually runs the 16.77. It won't be overnight. Things don't go up in straight lines. We're expecting a tap out through $1.11, $1.12, and a little bit of a rest and a pullback before it goes again. This is going to be huge for Ripple, because essentially you've got to reinflate an entire financial system, new railways for a system, and you're going to be deflating the old, and you need enough of a balloon that can be filled to take all the amount of monetary transactions that you and I and everyone else on the planet does. So you've got to take a beach ball and turn it into Jupiter, basically. And some of these moves are some of the great opportunities that will be presented. And this is what we're all about. How low can I get my risk, and how expansive can I get my reward? And can we get patterns within patterns, multiplying instead of trade by trade, adding your way to wealth? Multiplying your way to wealth involves using the stops of smaller setups like this one to break into longer term, bigger setup structures. So this is going to be, if it turns out the way we hope, it's on balance of probabilities. We're talking about the future, potentially very bullish for XRP. I think the overall crypto market will be going up, and its sister token Lumen will do just fine as well as a rival in that space as well. So there's a couple of really big whole shots. We actually have a mystery token that's in our community that I can't discuss. 70x is our expectation, with real geometry, with real method, that we think has a chance of doing exactly that, and is not one of these small penny, little bit dodgy coins. It's in the top 15 of tokens, and has shown real strong relative strength. So a little bit of delight to come, and the dollar loss of value is going to drive gold. It's going to then drive silver, which will overperform gold once that starts to happen in that chronology events. Bitcoin will then get a surge, and then some of these selected alts for their roles in the future metaverse and surveillance finance system that we're going to stumble into, they are going to have to become the Apples, the Googles, etc., of the technological money system. And I treat this as my last freedom moment to really kill it in a bull market, to buy myself some freedom in this cage that is being lowered down over us. Let's have some morbid sense of humor about it. Let's keep it. I don't want to depress anybody. If you're going to be a slave, be a rich one.
I got it. Well, Francis, I want to thank you so much for your time. I love that you started with some great visuals for our listeners there, but also that you really did marry a lot of fundamentals with this. But you won't trade something unless the charts give you your indicators give you the go ahead, whether it's to the upside or to the downside. For our listeners up there, the first thing that I really, really loved about our discussion is that this is really set up, all of this is really set up with dollar weakness. And then the second, and that was your last point, this is what I really liked, was that you're entering into low risk trades. It's all about controlling your risk. So I couldn't agree more with that. Francis, tell us how our listeners can get in touch with you if they want a part of the Market Sniper, or even access to your fund.
Yeah, we specialize doing one thing really well. We want to be wealth builders in reset times. All these trade ideas are going to benefit immensely. Natural gas, the tokens we just mentioned at the end, they're precious metals from the collapse in the dollar to the downside. But the actual technique and how you're doing it, keeping risk super tight. Everything we do must answer. What point are we entering? How far away is that stop for money management? Is it sized? And what's the juice that we get in terms of reward? And at what point do we take off? So many people in crypto have round tripped into quite a high value and back down to zero, and actually worse off than before. And even people in penny stocks and precious metals potentially too. There is a point to take off. You need a methodology and process. We specialize in that. And we also specialize in these exceptional reset macroeconomic times. which are abnormal, where traditional advice will get you into deeper trouble. We've all removed debt as investment instruments from our wealth, and we've all removed debt as things that we pay in lieu of the potential danger in interest rate spike situations. One of my next predictions is once the dollar's had a major disorderly loss of value, the Fed will come out swinging, and you could get very extreme rate hikes to defend the dollar that could eventually lead to a rate spike, a spike in the dollar as well. So as weak as we are to the downside, they're adding this volatility, and it's going to do damage in both directions. And you need to be protected from that. Having too much debt is going to hurt you. You can engage with us from the marketsniper.com website, book a call, have a chat with the friends. We have a well supported by the North American market, Canada, and the States. You can also just follow us on YouTube at The Market Sniper for traditional markets, and very active at the moment on crypto, because there's been some great gains made there with events, including that of the SEC. In short, you see in the chart the news before the news, you get the reason later. You've got to trust the footprints in the sand. The charts are the footprints in the sand. Thanks so much for having me on, and I look forward to all your viewers connecting with us.
Absolutely, and I'll put all of this in the show notes below this video. Thank you again so much.
Absolute pleasure. Bye for now.
Yep.